and you're watching the Impact channel.
Greetings everyone, our guest today is Sami, Pekka, Olavi, Yli-Sirniö from Kreator.
You got the whole name down.
Yes, was it correct?
That's very correct.
Nice to see you again. How are you? How was the festival season?
Well, very good, thanks. And the last one was just last weekend, and it's been really great. Too bad there was no gigs in Hungary in the summer, but
maybe next year.
Had a great time. We're still doing one like a cruise organized by the Wacken people, the full metal cruise, like in September. I'm gonna play like 4 gigs over there and different sets. That should be fun.
Yeah. Your last album came out in 2022. Are you working on the new material now?
We were in the studio in May, and we were working on it for a long time. And it's finished. I got the final mixes like yesterday.
Wow.
And I'm very excited about it. We recorded with Jens Bogren. It's the same producer who produced us like a couple of albums ago for 2 albums. And we are all very excited about it, and we hope that the people will like it too.
What can we expect from the new album?
Well, it's got lots of interesting themes in it, and a little bit of a new approach. For some songs we tuned guitars a little bit more down, like way down to like a baritone, even to A. But not all of the songs, it's always when it serves a purpose, when it serves the vocals and stuff like that. But yeah, there's 3 videos we shot already. The first one should be coming out in September already, and the album is planned to be released in January.
Wow.
16.
Can't wait for that. And beside the tunings and everything, what else is gonna be new on the album, approach-wise?
Wow, it's like different kind of songs. Like Millet is the main songwriter, and he came up with the excellent song ideas, and we all worked on it very hard. We did a lot of demos, threw a lot of songs out. You just wait and see. We're all very excited about it. We think we managed to top its predecessor.
Which Kreator albums are your favorites by decade?
By decade? Wow! Well, like, let me see. Age is perhaps Pleasure to Kill, because it's one of those songs that we still play in the set for some reason, and it gets a nice reaction. I guess it was the band was at the right place at the right time. And 90s, perhaps, let me think, maybe Come Of Souls. And the 2000s, maybe Enemy of God. And what the hell? There's so many decades.
Yeah.
What's going on here? And the 10s must be the Gods of Violence. And now that we're living in 2025, I definitely think the new one is the strongest, like that we've done while I'm in the band. Yes.
Is there any Kreator song that you always wanted to play live but haven't made it to the set list yet?
Wow, what an interesting question. Yeah, maybe there's this, like the last tune on Gods of Violence, Death Becomes My Light. It's kind of long, it's kind of challenging, and there's only so much time you have in a set list. But that gives me good vibes, that song. But maybe one day we have a chance to try that out. Yeah. Who knows?
You have a couple of albums that are, let's say, kind of ignored from the setlist, especially Renewal, Cause for Conflict, and Endorama. I know you played the title track from Renewal not so long ago, right?
Yeah, but we had this kind of like a lot of people were in social media asking if we could play like, well, basically that we're playing the same songs on the set list too much, so we decided to make like something different. find like deep cut songs, the songs that haven't been performed so often, and Renewal was one of them. And then we did stuff like Love Us or Hate Us from Extreme Aggression, and a bunch of songs, just to keep it interesting for the people and also for us now that we toured with the previous album for quite some time. So just to keep the set list interesting before we come out with the next album.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about those, I wouldn't say controversial, but experimental albums like Outcast, Endorama and Renewal?
Well, I do like them. Outcast has one song that still has a song that managed to stay in our live set.
Phobia.
Which is called Phobia. You got your stuff done. And Endorama doesn't have any of those songs, but I wasn't present when those albums were done, but I understand that somebody wants to think outside of the box a little bit, try out their wings. But I think back in 2001 when I joined the band, we were trying to concentrate on what we can do best, because what comes naturally and where the strength of the band lies. It's try to concentrate on that, not to suffocate any other influences, or still try to keep it broad and everything, but a certain kind of legacy is there, I suppose, with a band that's been together for such a long time. Yeah.
Next year you will have been in the band for 25 years already, quarter of a century.
It's best not to think about things like that.
And how was it like when you met the guys first? How did the cooperation start, the first rehearsals and everything?
Wow. Yeah, I was filling in already back in '97 when the previous guitarist guy, Tommy Fetterly, had injured his hand. So I was asked to do a little festival round back then, but that was 3 years before I actually joined the band. So I already knew them. So it was pretty easy, because I already knew one set list and one. So pretty natural, kind of pretty smooth, I'd say.
What's up with your other band, Barren Earth?
Oh, you really know your stuff.
That's right.
Barren Earth, it was a band that was basically started by Oppu Laine, who was the bass player of Amorphis, and he had a bunch of songs, this really nice death metal stuff. And everybody needs to have a hobby death metal band with your friends. You gotta have it. Everybody has one. There's a lot of death metal bands in the world. But it was then Kasper Mortensson came up with also other songs, and all of a sudden we noticed that we have almost an album there, and then we had accidentally we just had a recording deal and everything. But then when Oppu decided to join Amorphis, and I was very busy with Kreator also, we just realized that we don't really have time so much for it. I remember we had a rehearsal room, we were paying rent for it, but we were never there, so it's kind of throwing money away. So we just thought we didn't, then our record contract with Century Media was over already, so we just thought, let's put this to rest for a while. And perhaps sometimes when the time is right, it would be cool to do something again, because it's good friends, and I thought it was good music. And then with Waltari, we are doing a little nostalgia reunion show with the original lineup, not far from here, on the Rocks on the 20th of September, and a couple of other shows in Finland, in Tampere and Oulu and stuff like that. But it's more to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Big Bang album. So we're just gonna play the album through. And that's just fun to do, memories. Yeah.
So you're still part of the band, because I've seen some information that you left the band in 2024.
No, well, I mean, I was in the studio. I played a little sitar theme for the new album, but it's like they have another guitarist, two of them, great young guys, and they actively play shows as much as they are able to. But these few gigs that we're doing now is more like with the original lineup, like so. I don't know. I'm in the spirit, and I'm involved as much as I can. You know, they just find me. It's music, and it's a nice time to spend time. You know.
Let's go back to the very beginning. What were you like as a kid?
Well, I was born in Helsinki, and since I was when I was 5, I was put to an English school. It's kind of like a Catholic school, which is kind of strange here in Finland. And I was there until...
A Catholic school? I didn't even see any Catholic churches here.
No. There's only one. But I guess it was the language thing that was interesting in that school. I mean, my English still sucks, but but anyway, and then I started to study music. I started playing guitar when I was like 12 or 13, maybe, and then studying music like at the age of like maybe 15, first at the conservatory here in the center, and then later at the pop and jazz conservatory, but I didn't stay there for too long because then there was already Waltari happening when I was like 17, and we did already shows here and there, but mostly in Finland. And then it was just like accidentally, I suppose, like started that there was nothing else than music all of a sudden, like pretty accidentally. So that's how it like led up to that. But nice childhood, pretty safe and easy. I don't know, quite cool.
How did you become a music fan?
Wow, when? Well, I heard like music, of course, already from my parents at a very young age, like, you know, the usual stuff, Beatles and Elvis and ABBA, you know, whatever was going on in the 70s and 80s. And then started studying classical guitar at the conservatory, and at some point, when you're a teenager, metal music often comes to the picture, and then you're interested in stuff like Maiden or Metallica. Then it came harder stuff like Slayer or things that were like that you listened to with your friends in the 80s, and then just guitar became more. Just realized that. Just started spending more and more time with it. And when you're like 17 or 18 and playing almost like 6 or 8 hours a day, then you have less of a social life actually. Then it become kind of weird. But that was a phase. Yeah, it was a that's how it also very naturally, kind of accidentally. Somebody always asked me, "Hey, you want to do this?" "Yeah, sure." "Hey, you want to do that?" "Yeah, I'm in." Yeah.
Who were your first guitar heroes?
Well, that very first ones must have been like Richie Blackmore. I remember hearing "Child in Time" from Deep Purple Rock, and I thought, how is this even possible? And well, then there were like people like Adrian Smith and Dave Murray, and then I had a prog rock phase. Like I really liked that 70s stuff. Also Finnish bands like Wigwam and Tasavallan President. Check them out if you're interested in Finland.
I need to study here.
Yeah, and then there were also like friends here in Helsinki who you looked up to when you were younger. There was a band called Kingston Wall. Petri Valli was the guitarist and singer. I was like, wow, hey, that's something else, and we kind of looked up to that. Yeah, so the world is full of guitarists. I think like maybe like 15% of the entire population of the world plays guitar. Somebody estimated.
Yeah, especially in Finland. Maybe
In Finland, probably more. Finland, and they all have a band too, and then they play in several bands always.
And what was the first album you bought?
I think it was Deep Purple's Perfect Strangers, because it was '84. I was 12. I had albums already before, but when you put your own money into it, if you have your own money when you're 12.
Yeah.
But what I mean, there was other stuff before, you know, like Beatles and stuff like that.
And what was your first concert as a fan?
I remember that was Dio with the Last in Line tour.
Wow.
At the Black Box in Helsinki, because I was at the confirmation school. There was like a confirmation camp, and a friend of mine was the son of the mayor. So because of him, we could get in for free to the Helsinki Ice Hall, and we were like kids. It was great. Somebody would take off the jackets and please come on in. We were kids. And it didn't cost anything. We had to check out all the shows there. It's all Maiden for free. And like we went to see everything, all the bands that came back to Finland at that time. ZZ Top, Judas Priest. I can't even remember them all. But it was like a thank you, Teemu von Hertzen.
And the first concert as a musician?
I must have been when I was in the English school. We just had a couple of friends and we just did some cover songs. And we were fighting like who's gonna sing because nobody wanted to sing. So we shared it. Of course we played Paranoid. It was Catholic school, so you gotta play Black Sabbath. Must have sounded horrible. Like 14 or whatever. No, 15, I don't remember. But that was in the school, that wasn't a professional gig. So later on must have been like, it was I was in a kind of like a thrash metal band really. It was called Brainwash. And it was in Itäkeskus in Helsinki, and the singer, Ali, he organized, because there wasn't much of a metal scene in Helsinki, you had to organize it yourself. Rent a place and sell tickets, make flyers, posters. Yeah, it was fun.
What was the first guitar that you had? Was it a classical guitar or electric guitar first?
That must have been a classical one my grandfather gave to me. I still have it. And first electric guitar was it was a black kind of a Strat, very cheap. Back then, like cheap guitars were really terrible. These days, if you buy a cheap guitar, they're okay. They're all right.
Yeah, I had the same experience back in the day.
Yeah. Today, they're all great. Every guitar is wonderful.
You mentioned that you can play the sitar, and you also played sitar on a couple of albums as a guest. What other instruments can you play?
Well, like string instruments, basically. I like playing bass. Piano, not very well, but I understand the chords. Of course, it's like a nice instrument because you can see everything's like laid on in front of your eyes, but my technique is not very good in the piano. I feel most home with the guitar.
If you could master any new instrument, what would it be?
Wow. Well, I mean, I really admire when people play classical piano, like really good ones, like Chinese people. They have incredible classical pianists over there, or jazz pianists. It's like amazing what people can do and what kind of an understanding of of music you have to be able to do that stuff and the technique. So, but that would mean a lot of hard work and a lot of practice.
How would you express yourself if there was no music in your life? What would you do?
Wow, maybe painting, because my grandfather, who gave me my first guitar, he was a professional painter, and I don't necessarily believe that that kind of stuff like is passed on through generations, but if you see it from a very young age on, you can be inspired. I haven't done lots of it, but you know, just a little scribbling, and it's certainly fun. I should do it more.
Do you have any paintings at home that you did yourself?
No, it's nothing that I would like publicly show to people. Although it's also I think that it's also like an art form, just like music. Like why bother being shy about it? You know, just put it out there, and if somebody likes it or not, it's up to them. It's the same with music, really. I think sometimes people are too self-critical, and I am too. When it comes to writing music, I always feel that this has been done before, or this has been said already. So that's why I'm lucky to have found people like, for example, Mille, who write very much, or Kreator from Waltari. Like they have less of a filter, which can be a blessing.
Are there any plans for a solo album or some other side projects from you?
Of course, like an idea, there is some cooking out there somewhere, and of course there are like riffs and melodies that have been like, that are somewhere, that have been not been put out with the bands that I've been doing, just simply for the reason that they wouldn't fit very well. But yeah, that a lot of people have asked me that, and it something that maybe is still to be done at some point. I'm not much of a lyricist. I would first have to think of something to say. Or maybe it would be an instrumental album, but that's kind of boring.
What does art mean to you?
Oh, everything. It's like self-expression, and it can be frustrating if you don't have a channel to put it out. I mean, for a lot of people it is, especially in 2025. For one thing, because there's so much of it. In a certain way it's easy to be heard, but then in another way it's very difficult to be heard. And but it means a lot. It means a lot. I couldn't imagine a world without it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
If you could represent humanity with any kind of art form, what would you show them?
Oh, I guess music. I guess music. You mean like to an alien?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the first, because I think music has a kind of a magic that you know, you can even smell things that when you hear a song from years ago, you can smell the stuff. It doesn't make any sense. There's something otherworldly about it. I mean, you know, some people might get that from a painting or a sculpture too. But I get it the strongest from music. That's a good question. What would you choose music?
Probably, but yeah, putting a set list together will be kind of a challenge.
Yeah, what to play to an alien? If you have to choose one song to play to an alien.
Actually, there's one song I would show them, Ocean Planet from Gojira.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why that was the first one that came to my mind.
Yeah, Ocean Planet.
Yeah, there you go.
Most of it is ocean. So.
It seems to me that the Finnish governments really support art in general in your country. Is it something that you also experienced when you were a kid?
Yes. The only problem is that the current government doesn't do that as much and is trying to push people into that corner of working from 9 to 5, and even to be self-employed is I feel that the current government is almost trying to make it difficult for people to do that. And what we saw for example, in the 70s, when lots of money was put into, for example, Sibelius Academy and so on, to support musical education and so on, and people had funds to make it happen. So from that time, we have had people who managed to be successful as conducting symphony orchestras, for example, in LA. Like take for example Esa-Pekka Salonen or people like that, and lots of them, many. And the problem is that if the current government or the next government stops doing that, giving support to the arts and developing arts, what we will see then in 20 or 30 years is that there will be no people like that, and that would be extremely sad. But of course, it's like it's not the only thing that keeps it going, but I think it's very important. I mean, it explains the success of the people in the field of classical music in Finland. So I hope it keeps on going.
People seem to have a different approach towards music since the millennium, especially after the digitalized platforms, I mean the streaming platforms and downloads and everything. Do you also see the same phenomenon?
Only in the way that, like we talked earlier, it's easier to be heard, but at the same time more difficult to be heard. I guess it's like a financial aspect, really. It's harder to make a living out of it. I mean, well, you can always play shows, that hasn't changed, and I think will not change immediately.
Because I also think about the listeners, you know, because it seems that people just really listen to the songs for like, let's say 30 seconds. If it doesn't grab my attention, then I'm just moving to the next one. So I don't know, maybe if amazing bands like Death, you know, or Cynic, you know, would be formed nowadays, they would have a big wall in front of them because the audience would be a bit more, I don't know, I wouldn't say judgmental, but kind of like picky, you know, and not patient enough, let's say, with the music.
Yeah, that is a problem. Like, you know, like TikTok, and that people lack the attention span. I mean, and it's funny to know that metal audience is becoming a little bit older because you often have music which requires a longer attention span. Although I'm not saying, I mean, this summer's festivals, we saw a lot of young people too, and then people come to tell us like, oh, it's older people here at your gigs these days, and then I always tell them like, hey, you didn't see the front row because you're the older guy who's at the mixing desk looking like this. So yeah, people do lack the attention span. But just people don't have time. You know. I find it hard to find time to listen to entire albums. Sometimes I usually do it, you know, like when traveling and you know, like, but just to sit down like with people, like it used to be, like to listen to on speakers, it doesn't happen so much. But maybe that's also the reason why people are going more to live shows than ever, at least here. I mean, like it's the live thing is becoming bigger. Like if you think of even 90s, like there's this Olympic Stadium over there. If there was a band playing there, would have been there Rolling Stones or something. But now there's like local bands who can fill it up, and people go more to gigs. That's great.
What are those symbols that you are wearing now?
Oh, this is from Scotland. This is a letter from my wife, and this is I don't know what it is. Looks like a what do you call it in German? A Flachmann. That you
that's
in the
what
pocket like have a sip. Maybe it is that.
What do you like to do beside music? What are your hobbies?
Well, I should be doing more sports. My friend has asked me for a while to go play tennis again. I used to go diving, but I don't anymore because of my ears, my hearing. I'm worried about it. And well, I should do more sports for sure, especially being 53 and all that. You know, like the usual things that people like to do. I like to cook. I like to. Music is also a hobby. It's not only a profession. It's like I always try to keep active with that too, as much as I can. And
what's your specialty when it comes to cooking?
Well, Well, I make a great vegetable soup. It's not very challenging, but you're from Hungary. It's all about paprika over there, isn't it?
More or less.
More or less.
Well, kind of a stereotype, but
And then you have egri tikaver, but you have better wines these days, I bet.
And what are your plans for the rest of the year and for next year?
Oh, because the new album is about to be released. I guess there will be like we're shooting another video for another song, a fourth song, because we thought it was quite strong. We're gonna go do that in Poland in the beginning of October, and there's a tour, of course, is planned, like a European tour.
Are you starting in Europe the tour for the next album?
Yeah. That's the plan. Like it looks like March, April, kind of like around that period of time. And this year already also a US tour and a Latin American tour. They've already started booking those. So it looks like November and December will be more quiet for me. So maybe I decide just to like stay at home for a change.
Okay, last few questions. Please name your 5 favorite albums of all time.
Wow, that's awesome because there's so many. That's impossible. But I have to start thinking of. I have to go back in time, like back to your childhood and so on. Like so, something. Maybe Revolver from the Beatles and Perfect Strangers from Deep Purple. Oh no! In Rock is better. That's just the first one I bought. We were talking about that earlier. and then there would be like Master of Puppets from Metallica, Power Slave from Maiden. Was that already 5?
It's 4, I think.
Then there's there's so many. It's impossible. Like, we were talking about Wigwam earlier. Wigwam, Nuclear Nightclub. There's so many. Like different genres of music also. But I just started automatically talking about metal now.
If you could pick the bands yourself for a Kreator tribute album, who would you like to hear to cover your songs?
Wow, David Gilmour. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't.
Or Roger Waters?
No, I don't want him to do it either. No. Forget that guy. He's strange, isn't he?
Is he?
Well, he seems to be. And that would be a challenge for him. He's open-minded, but he wouldn't do it. He's never even heard of Kreator, so or who knows? Yeah.
No other names? Kanye West?
Who would cover it? That would be absolutely like a weird choice. Kate Bush, whoever. I mean, there's. I've like looked in. I mean, you can see there's Phobia seems to be the song that a lot of bands like to cover for some reason. That's simple. That's maybe the reason.
What's the meaning of life?
Wow, I guess to try to help others and try not to be so selfish. Maybe it's difficult. What is it to you?
I'll still try to find out.
Try to find out?
Maybe that's the meaning, to find out.
Yeah, that's probably it. And die looking.
Do you have any last words to your fans?
Well, thank you for your interest, and January the new album is coming out. So check it out if you will.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.